show. We've been talking about the situation in Detroit, their whole bankruptcy situation, and we've been talking about what we think are the reasons that led up to their current state. And I'm just wondering, obviously there've been politicians accused of corruption in Detroit, on top of all the other things that have gone wrong. And I look at Boston. We air from this, nearby Boston, the Boston area, and Boston's no stranger to corruption. Massachusetts legislature isn't, a stranger to corruption. I mean, you think about it. I'm not scared to admit it. I'm 34 years old, and hey, those advertisers still want my disposable income for at least one more year.
I guess.
But
watch what you say. Whitey's still alive too. But go
ahead. But I'm thinking about. I'm 34 years old, and the Speaker of the House for the Massachusetts legislature. I mean, I don't think I haven't grown up with a Speaker of the House that went out without having charges put on him. Well, in my years growing up here, I think about Flaherty and the last one before the current one. We don't know, So I mean, you think about it. In at least the last 20 years, every Speaker of the House that we've had in Massachusetts has had to face some sort of corruption charges.
Yeah,
so
don't you feel, Anthony Cook? Don't you feel like it's passing the buck?
So corruption. You're like, look, this is how we do it.
Yeah, somebody has to take that fall. You don't watch 24. You see how Jack Bauer chases it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to take that fall. Man.
Somebody has to take that fall. So this is Speaker of the House is just passing the torch, and taking the hits. And don't worry, when you get out of this, we'll take care of you.
Yeah, because you notice, right? A lot of times, and I hate to, I just want to bring this up. A lot of times when individuals who get, say, for instance, they get caught up in a controversy, they get promoted. They resign and get promoted somewhere else. So now, put two and two together. Why do you think that is? They took one for the team.
They took one for the team. Don't worry, you're gonna come out of this shining.
Yeah. You're gonna be our shining star.
We're gonna throw some dirt on you for a little while, but you're gonna come out shining.
It's okay. People gonna attack you. People gonna talk trash about you, but then you're gonna get a $200,000 raise.
Yeah, I think that
2 months later.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking about the situation in Detroit. Going back to Detroit right now, his name is not Derek. Bobby Ferguson is, they say that they're friends, but of course, Bobby Ferguson is denying that they're friends, or if they have a friendship, he's not telling, with Kwame Kilpatrick, former mayor of Detroit. Now, what they're accusing Bobby Ferguson and Kwame Kilpatrick of conspiring to bilk Detroit out of millions of dollars. And when I think about Ferguson, I think Ferguson got caught. And he got caught because they're saying that they use RICO. Now, what I'm saying is if they use RICO on the current administration in this city, would they find some things? I mean, documents have been destroyed by the city. So I'm just wondering, hey, is that a possibility?
Are you putting that out to the callers? If they have any information on it, they should hit us up, 857-366-5444.
Absolutely. If they have information, if they have an opinion.
Yeah, hit us up, 857-366-5444.
And we'll be back, Minority Men Show.
Close your eyes and believe without question. Take a leap, not a breath of hesitation. Faith in me is all I hope that you will need. Take a walk in the dark and let me guide you. Just reach out for my hand and I will find you. Trust in me, come and show me you believe. If I said all you ever needed could be provided in me, yeah, what would you say? Would you turn away, or would you, yeah, follow me to the end and back? Could you, ooh yeah, follow me to the end, ooh yeah, to the end and back. If I said I'm leaving today, come on with me. Could you pack up your bags and run swiftly? I can't see nobody else but you with me. Young and free, running wild through the night, yeah. Nothing stands in our way when it's us, baby. Trust in me. Come and show me you believe. Oh, yeah. Follow me to the end and back. Could you? Ooh, yeah. Follow me to the edge of the earth, the end of the world and back. The world and back. If I said I had to go, had to run, had to leave it all, would you stay or would you follow? If I said I'm leaving, no, baby, I'm leaving. If I said I had to go, if I said I had to go, if I said I had to go, would you follow me there? Yeah, follow me. Yeah, follow me to the end and back. Could you? Ooh yeah. Follow me. Ooh yeah. Would you follow? Would you follow? Follow me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, roll with me, baby, follow me. Take my hand and come with me. Come with me. Oh.
Welcome back to the Minority Men Show. We've been talking about the situation going on in Detroit. They just filed for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. We're just going through the ins and outs, our opinions on what's going on over there. And if you have anything to say about this subject, please hit us up, 857-366-5444. We've been comparing Detroit to situations that have happened in Boston. And, I want to go into... Later on, I want to talk a little bit about, comparing to what's going on in Chicago as well. But yeah, we still got a lot to say about what's going on in Detroit. And Bree, I think you had something to ask, or you had a statement to say about Detroit's current situation.
Yeah, we were having a heated discussion over the break, but Big Game, he was talking about how the state of Michigan just kind of gave up on Detroit. And I was just saying how most states have urbanization going on. Urbanization is basically where you build a city where you have all the big buildings, city hall, all the big companies in the center of a city, and then right around that center of the city is the slums. And then they want to bring more money into, the city. They don't really like the slums. This is years later, so they start gentrification where they're bringing in, more people who have money to come back in the slums and stuff like that. So anyways, my point, I guess I had a heated discussion because in Boston, I hear Blue and Public saying that there's rich people in Boston. But anyways, my point is that Michigan kind of gave up on Detroit, and they didn't see any money or importance of Detroit, even though Detroit had such a big influence on the automotive industry. So,
what I want to know? What caused the divide? What seems to be a racial divide in Detroit? I want to. I don't know.
I don't think it's a racial divide.
You don't think it's a racial divide?
There's white folks in real big trouble in Detroit. They live in the squalor. They're poor. It's class. Now it's class.
Eminem.
Eminem, he's from
yeah,
Detroit.
8 Mile.
He's one example, but it gets worse. Situations get a lot worse, and it's not a black or white thing now. It's,
So you think it was you think it's more of a class issue that happened in Detroit?
Yeah,
because the news reports
and capitalism,
they try to use that as a black and white issue. But yeah,
I don't do race no more.
Go more into the class situation.
In capitalism, it comes down to the haves and the have-nots, and in Detroit, a lot of money was made off of the have-nots. And one of my big issues with the country is the outsourcing the jobs.
How do you think it was? How do you think the money was made off of the have-nots? In what way is in your mind?
You can have people, maybe they didn't they got subpar education, didn't graduate from high school, but people that were hard workers, and they would work in industry, and it's just the way the country was built. Detroit made they made their money off the backs of people who really didn't have a voice. So they work in whatever mills, industries, and cars that were being built by members, whether they were union or non-union, would build up these companies and put out a product, get paid nowhere compared to where a CEO might get paid. They don't have the health benefits. The people just basically stand on an assembly line. They get used and thrown out. The pension system is all messed up, and the city kind of checked out and asked the state to take over, and the state came in and said, you know what, we don't deem you financially fit. We're gonna file for bankruptcy.
So you say it's definitely the fault of the city leaders. I mean, don't you think that the city leaders at a certain point need to be accountable to see that there's a situation that's going wrong, and have the wherewithal to say, you know what, let's stop and let's change something here.
It's the city leaders, but Detroit was big enough where the country probably should have looked at it as an example. Industry was big in Detroit, and I don't know if it comes down to China can make better products cheaper, but there's a lot of people. Detroit's a ghost town now.
Yeah, the jobs definitely fled.
It's a cost of labor, though. It's cheaper to outsource the jobs right across the border because Detroit is on the border of Canada. So a lot of those factories that were initially in Detroit have now moved to Canada.
Yeah, a lot of parts factories in Windsor.
Yep, which Canada, is right over the lake. But one of the big things though about Detroit that a lot of people overlook, Detroit still got some real money, and people don't look at that. They just built a brand new stadium. So where's that money coming from?
Yeah,
Taxpayers.
Commercial Park and also Ford Field.
Yeah,
and and we do have a caller right now. So caller, hello, welcome to the Minority Men Show.
Hi, this is John. I'm calling from Georgia.
Hey, John, how you doing today?
I'm doing real good. I just was wanting to weigh in a little bit about what you guys are talking about in Detroit. My dad grew up in Flint, Michigan. And that's kind of the forerunner to Detroit. Because everybody talks about Detroit, but we kind of saw the blueprint happen in Flint. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Flint. It's kind of like the murder capital of the world per capita. Maybe not the world, but it's
I know that through Michael Moore.
Yeah, I saw the same documentary.
Yeah, Flint, Michigan.
Yeah. Well, and I saw it happen. I was just a kid, but I remember when the factory started closing down. You have a lot of things. You have the globalization of the workforce, and you had jobs going down south. But part of it was the unyieldingness of the unions, where there was a lot of take and not a lot of give. I do think there's definitely a place for unions, but what you had was the spillover from the UAW to the people taking over the government were actually unionized, and they were negotiating with themselves. So you essentially had these pensions put in place that were going to be unsustainable. And it's really just a matter of time until that, you have the collective bargaining with the union, who also runs the government, and they donate to the government to elect the people that they want, and then they're turning around and negotiating their own contracts. It's a bad situation all around.
So it was, every relationship is give and take, and basically what was going on from what you saw was that the unions weren't willing to say, hey, let's compromise so that we can keep this going.
Well, when the production started to shift there, you know,